Yes, so today we're talking about the reflector aura type. Now, if you're familiar with my page or you understand human design, you know that your aura has different characteristics. And when you understand your aura and your energy type, you really understand how to navigate life with more ease and more flow and more grace. So to summarize, there are 4 different energy aura types. First, we'll talk about the generators. Generators make up 70% of the population. Generators have this warm and enveloping aura, and you really were meant to respond to life. The other thing with generators is you have your sacral center is defined. So you have access to life force energy. So when you're doing what you love and it's lighting you up, you have that energy center, that motor center that's really going to put and motivate you to continue doing what you love to do. A subsection of the generator type is the manifesting generator, like myself. So the only difference there, the slight difference is I'm also meant to respond to life, but I can initiate. But it's important that I practice the art of informing people as I'm going out to initiate what I want to do. Next, we have projectors. Projectors make up 20% of the population. And with projectors, they have a focused and penetrating aura. The beautiful thing about that is they're able to take in the energy of the environment. You know, their gift is the ability to see the gifts in others. And part of their strategy for the projectors is to wait for the invitation. So they make sure they're aligned with the right thing. Next, we have the manifestors. Manifestors make up 9% of the population, and they have a closed and repelling aura. With the manifestors, they're here to make impact, and that's part of their gift, to create and do what they love. At the same time, they have the ability to move quickly. So with manifestors, part of your strategy is informing people, as that creates a path of least resistance. And last but not least, we have the reflectors, which make up 1% of the population. And being that it's only 1%, they are extremely rare. They have this ability to really sample the energy of others and sample the energy of their environment. And through that, they can really tell if people are living authentically or which environments are healthy for them. So with reflectors, they're one of the earliest energy types and they're one of the wisest energy types. They're extremely attuned to their environment. So given that, they're able to tell if this environment is a good environment for them to be in. They can also tell if people are living authentically to who they truly are, if they're living in their conditioning. So with reflectors, all their centers are open and they have no definition. And if this was another energy type, that might open them up to conditioning, but not the reflector, because they have this resiliency about their energy. And this is what allows them to sample other energy types. They can sample the energy of others. They can sample the energy of the environment. And that is their role in humanity. They're here to mirror back and reflect to us how well we're doing. If you look at it at the level as the collective, they can reflect back the energy of the collective and see how well we're doing as a whole. If you look at it from an individual basis, they can reflect back to the individual. Are you living in your programming and conditioning, or are you living in true alignment? And this is what's so important, because we're constantly being bombarded with messaging. We're constantly being pulled in one direction and then pulled in another direction. So it's hard for us to know. So a lot of us are living from this place of scarcity and fear and indecision and doubt. And with the reflector, they're able to at least notice that and reflect that back to us. So what makes a reflector a reflector? Well, their chart is undefined and they have 0 divine centers, which means this is how they're able to sample energy from all these divine places, right? They have this resiliency. So they're able to reflect back to their environment while also sampling it. So with reflectors, your chart changes every 28 days to a lunar cycle. Because there's so much shifting happening during this period, it's recommended that you wait 28 days before making any major decisions. It's about exercising patience, especially in a society where they push making hasty decisions all the time. And the other thing that's important for reflectors is the company you keep. You know, part of your decision making is speaking out loud, having conversations with people, hearing your voice, hearing how it sounds, because through that you gain clarity and you allow the right decisions to come in. It's not about having people convince you of making a decision in a certain direction, but rather it's important that you just have the clarity. When you surround yourself with the right group of people, you can hear your voice, you'll gain clarity from that, and you'll allow the right decisions to come in. So with reflectors, they have the ability to sample the energy of the environment, sample the energy of an individual. This is imperative because they can really tell, is this a safe environment? Is this a healthy environment? Or on an individual level, is this person living in their conditioning? Are they living in their programming? And how do we get them back to living in their authentic truth? And this is going to be reflected back to you, so you'll be able to see this. But this has the power to awaken you. It has the power to shift you out of your conditioning and back into what's authentically true for you. And this is what I love about the reflector. They're able to sample the environment and show us this. Now, they also have this resilience about their energy. So they're not easily conditioned. They can sample the different energy types, like being at a buffet and, trying different food without eating all the food and consuming all the food. This is the best analogy that I have, but I want us to think about it that way. They can really kind of almost taste test and say, okay, I know what's happening. I know what I like, but I don't have to consume it, and I'm not absorbed by it. And therefore I don't get conditioned by that. And that's a very powerful element, but this is what makes the reflector so wise. Now, because they have the capacity to take on the energy, it's also imperative that they really make sure they're in the right environments. You want to be in a healthy environment. So if you're a reflector and you surround yourself with a group of friends that are not the right friends, or a job that doesn't serve you, or a style of work that's not conducive to how you want to work and how you want to live, it's important that you shift out of that, because again, you're taking in all that energy as well. And that can be exhausting. So it's really about being mindful about the people you keep, the friends you keep, the environments that you work in, to make sure you're in an environment that's healthy for your conditioning, healthy for your energy. This is about being who you are, being comfortable in your skin, not conforming to the typical way of doing things, because your energy is so sensitive and you pick up the energy of others. Working a 9-to-5 type of job where it's hustle and grind and it doesn't work for your energy is not going to be the right environment for you. You want to do something that's authentically right for you, because you're not moved and inspired by the conditioning that other people are inspired by. And it's also about being sensitive to your energy, because you can feel the pain of others. You can feel the pain of the world. You can feel the pain of the collective. You look at so many things that have happened during this period of COVID, so many ups and downs that people have felt. So many people have felt the shift. These type of things would also impact your energy, because you can see the energetic imbalance. You can feel the pain of others, pain of people who are not doing so well, pain of people who had to adjust during that period. Again, so just being mindful of your energy, understanding how to kind of release the energy of others, because you're going to pick up the energy of others. So finding ways to release some of that energy, finding ways not to always take on the energy of others, or if you do take it on, it's about knowing how to release that energy so you can get back to yourself. So one of the challenges that you're going to face as a reflector is decision making, making hasty decisions versus taking your time. It's recommended that you wait 28 days of full lunar cycle. For some people, that can be discouraging and can be frustrating, because there's this need to make quick decisions. My question is, where is that need coming from? We've been conditioned from the dominant culture to make quick decisions. And with the more technology and more advancements, everything is being catered to a quick moving, quick pace, quick decision. Sometimes I feel like we haven't been taught how to make decisions that take time. We haven't been taught how to have patience. So there's this desire to make a quick decision, but oftentimes that's just programming. Really do what's authentically right for you. Know that you have the strength and power to make decisions when you want to. When you feel through a decision, when you wait that lunar cycle, you're going to make the best decisions that are there for you. So another form of conditioning that we often pick up, and that's important for reflectors to keep an eye on, is just identifying with who you truly are. When we're in the energy space of other people, we pick up their identities. We're constantly being conditioned from people, from our environments, from the collective. So for the reflector, it's just really taking a step back, monitoring and taking a look at, is this environment right for me? Are these people right for me? The company you keep, the people you spend time with, the environments that you work in, and the environments that you spend time with, they all have the capacity to condition you. And if they're unhealthy environments, you might take on personalities that are not yours. You might start identifying with things that are not truly who you are, and they're going to resemble the small stuff, which is not you. You want to step into your authentic code, align with your higher self. We do that by stripping away the layers of conditioning. We do that by aligning ourselves with the people that we trust. We do that by aligning ourselves with the right communities. And when we do that, we'll know, because energetically we'll feel different. We'll feel lighter. We'll feel brighter. We're going to tap into our intuition more. When we're in the wrong conditions, we'll also know, because we're going to feel suffocated. We feel like we're suppressing who we truly are in order to fit in. And in a world that's so competitive and it's all about fitting in and likes and competition, it's easy to be swayed in the wrong direction. But if you strip away and you stop glamorizing things, and we get back to authentically what's true, we'll be able to detect what's authentically right and what empowers us, and what's not right and what disempowers us. So with reflectors, your not self theme is disappointment. So when you're not in alignment, you're going to experience that theme of disappointment. This can happen from, as we mentioned earlier, Making hasty decisions, feeling like you need to be rushed into making a decision can really lead you to feeling that theme of disappointment. Not really being seen or being heard. For reflectors, it's important for you to be seen, but oftentimes if you're mirroring back to people and reflecting to people, it might be hard to identify who you truly are. So it's hard to be seen in that sense, and that could lead to that theme of disappointment. And then also over being overwhelmed with taking on other people's energy, right? Again, you don't want to be a sponge and constantly taking on other people's energy, but you want to sample other people's energy, but then also find time to release that energy, because it can be exhausting and overwhelming if you're constantly taking on the energy of others. And then being in the right environment, if you're in the wrong community or the wrong job or the wrong people, that can also lead you to your small self, the false self. You're not going to be in true alignment. You're not going to be living your highest self. So again, for reflectors, just paying attention to those things, because you want to shift to a place of surprise. When you're in surprise, you're in true alignment. And that's the theme that you'll experience. When you're doing things that are feeling fun, when you're doing things that are feeling in true alignment, when you're being seen by those around you, when you're in the right environment, you don't feel like these environments are depleting your energy, but they're actually giving you energy and you're aligned with what you really want to do, you're going to experience that theme of surprise. So for most energy types, it's really about understanding your energy so you can move with ease and flow, understanding the characteristics of your aura so you can move through the path of least resistance. And for my reflectors, I hope this helped. I hope this helped you identify some of your strengths, some places where you can be open into condition, and how you can really get back to your authentic self and find true alignment for what works for you.